I'm Natalia Bonner. Welcome to the 9 Patchalong 6.0. This is block number 7. So far in this 9 Patchalong series, we have done a lot of marking and a lot of curves. So I thought it'd be fun today to keep things a little bit more simplistic and quilt a lot of straight lines with no marking. So we're going to be using my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. I have added our piece and quilt pop socket ruler grip here to the top of the ruler. I like doing that. It gives me something nice to hold on to and, you know, maintain a little bit more control while I'm machine quilting. I'll be demonstrating all of my quilting here on my Gamble 22-inch machine. I am stitching in the stitch regulated mode, and I do have my stitch length set at 13 stitches per inch. I like the combination of the So Fine thread. I'm using color number 452 here on the top. And then I do have the pre-wound SuperBobs in my bobbin. The batting that I'm using is 1 layer of the Quilter's Dream Poly Deluxe batting, and I am quilting here on a panel that I purchased from Honest Fabrics. You can purchase the same one. If you do, make sure you get the 50 by 60 inch size. That way you'll have the same size of blocks as me. But we do also have a piecing pattern for this quilt available on our website. You can also pick up the rulers over on our website. Let's hop down here and let's do a bit of quilting. Whenever doing any machine quilting with rulers, you want to make sure you have a ruler foot on your machine, as well as a ruler base. That creates this nice flat working surface. Those are like essential tools. You also need to make sure you're working with machine quilting rulers. Do not try to do this with like rotary type rulers. They will break and you'll be really sad. Anyways, from the needle position to the outside of the ruler foot here measures 1/4 inch. And I've designed all of my machine quilting rulers taking that into consideration. I want to start out here by stitching a line that's 1/2 inch from this side, and I'm going to repeat that here on the inside, almost creating kind of a plaid type pattern. But to do that, I'll line up the 1/2 inch marked line. It's the first marked line here on the mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler with the side of my block. First, I'll stitch a 1/2 inch space line, then we'll use the side of the ruler and stitch a second line that's 1/4 inch working all the way up to the top. So once I've stitched down here to the bottom, I'll travel over 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to line up this ruler so the side of the ruler is right on top of that previous stitch line. So now my spacing will be 1/4 inch. I like that. Okay, so next I'm going to travel over here and repeat it coming off of this side. So I'm going to do the 1/2 inch line first, just for my brain's sake, and then I'll travel in again for the 1/4 inch line. Whenever I readjust my ruler, I try to stop with my needle in the down position. You can see mine's not completely stopped right there, but if I do need to adjust, I'll physically stop the machine so that I can readjust my ruler. Okay, now let's do that 1/4 inch spacing. All right, I like that. Now I really love the look of stitch in the ditch. So next I'll travel down this ditch, and then on this side I'll repeat that same 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch spacing. Now that 1/4 inch spacing, and then I'll travel over here and repeat, and the same over on the right side. All right, so I have all of the lines stitched going in one direction. Now I'm going to repeat the same process, this time though going across, and that's where you'll really start to see the fun design come to life. I really like that. Let's keep repeating that. Really fun to quilt and simple. Sometimes you don't have to do a lot of marking. Just go with something more simplistic and you can still create a beautiful result. I love how this design turned out. Don't forget to check out the companion design workbook that does include all of the designs. Plus it has those QR codes that you can scan with your smart device and it'll take you right to the video where I show you how to quilt out all of these designs. So now that I have block number 7 done, next I'll quilt this sashing and I'm going to keep using this tumble block design that I created. Once I have that done, then I'll be back tomorrow with block number 8. We have almost made it to the end of this 9 Patchalong 6.0. When the 9 Patchalong 6.0 does come to an end, you still can go back at any time and enroll in 9 Patchalong 1 through 5. The inspiration never stops. I'll see you tomorrow with block number 8.